And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Expanse in our Fission all the way run. We started gas extraction in the last one. So a big thing here is actually going to be getting more gas extraction. At the moment we're making like a half a ton of hydrogen per day. I probably want to be closer to like 10 per day. We're not worried about the gas giants running dry. There's, if we go into an example here on Jupiter, there's billions of tons of hydrogen. We can't drink it fast enough. And it is the fuel from which we fly around. So the more hydrogen we have, the more aggressive we can be with our flight. So I've got 3 missions planned. What missions do we have? We've got ongoing. We got 3 Hephaestai on the return trip. And we have 1 outbound. Okay, so we're waiting for Hephaestus to do their stuff. In the meantime, I could be producing more launch capacity. Another thing I should do is I should start to scale back water production. I don't need... If I'm not using it to make hydrogen right now, I should scale it back. So I'm making I'm consuming 1.7 tons. I'm making just short of 6. I presumably don't need quite that much. So let's reduce our facilities here. So I got 39 enabled, and I want to produce 47 tons. So I want 32. So that means I can free up 7 of them. So we will scrap 7 of them. Still means we'll be water positive. In fact, we'll unpause just to make sure that that recalculates is in fact water positive. Yeah, looks like it. So that frees up more workforce to do other stuff. In theory, I don't really want workforce working on Earth. We'd rather them be working elsewhere. So we're going to work on trying to get a better launch profile to getting them all up into orbit. Which I think is just in the moment just going to be building it more crew compartments. So previously... Do I just launch another... what? Previously we were doing 50 at a time, so that would be that. I think 100 at a time would be a little less strain on the micro, or a little less micro. So let's get another 20 crew compartments going. We gotta wait until that builds out. We got stuff building out there. We're waiting... What am I waiting for? Waiting for the metal to be made so I can expand demos. This Phobos is being expanded. Okay, so let's get some stuff going. So that was a spacecraft that arrived at Jupiter. That is you. You're going to be mostly handling transit around the Jupiter system. So what I should do is have the next load coming up to Jupiter actually be a load for... Well, bring the stuff for launch capacity. Right now we've got Ganymede and Amalthea. Ganymede is actually food positive. It's piling up more and more and more food. What I might want to prep to bring in is the facilities we need for a vehicle assembly bay, a launch pad, and a Nike. The wrong one. Launch vehicle is Nike. Not Nike, Pelican. Pelican. So, might want to plan on trying to bring those materials up as well in the next launch out to Jupiter. That way I can get launch capacity off of Ganymede so we can have food shipped out to the locations. And then I need to probably set up another colony in the Jupiter system, probably on one of the metal-rich places, either Io or Callisto. We got a quest for Callisto, so we'll probably do Callisto. So. And we got 3 of the Hephaestai coming in, so probably one wants to do Callisto, probably one wants to get the launch vehicles to Ganymede. And if we got surplus carrying capacity on there, that should be drying up stuff for expanding the fueling capacity. And then somebody in Saturn, which is this was a 3rd or 4th. Okay. So let's continue to move hundreds at a time to Earth orbit. I'm going to try to get Earth orbit up to about 800 people. Earth to Earth orbit. Orbital payload container. Add module. Crew module. Ship up some food as we do it. 100 each trip. Yeah, there is maybe an argument to just be doing bigger trips. Okay, people are launched, so I need to acquire more people to fill out the human stockpile. And I'll acquire more food while we're at it. There we go. Hydroponics farm completed on Titan. Titan is now capable of feeding itself, so it should not run out of food. Oh, it isn't making water fast enough. Although it may be making water fast enough to feed itself. Because it's making food 10 times faster than it needs to. Yeah, so it'll make water fast enough to feed itself. That's one of the reasons I sent 5 mining modules and not just 1. Because the gamble is we get a really bad deposit and it should still be able to feed itself with 5. Okay. And yeah, those modules are good for another transport up to Earth orbit. At which point I do just need to get modules to Earth orbit so that when the time comes, we can just pick them up and go places. Group compartment. Another 100 people. On the Pelican on the next launch. Oh, and 100 supplies. Okay, we're waiting for them to launch, and we'll be planning the next launch package as soon as we arrive, as soon as we get those people in orbit. Okay, people have arrived. Ship has arrived. Jupiter orbit to Earth orbit is complete. Okay. I actually don't have enough people hired up, so let's get another batch of people to get all the jobs working. So, where do I want to send these guys? There's out to Jupiter, which is tempting. This one should probably not be carrying people to Jupiter. because I need to get the launch capacity going on Jupiter first. When is the launch window to Jupiter? The launch window is 2068 January, so it's over 6 months out. So we'll have enough time to get the Pelican ready for it again, obviously, because the Pelican will be ready in less than 2 months. If anything, that means I probably want to launch stuff to orbit first for the trip. So then I need to start thinking about what I want loading-wise. So actually, we can skimp on the launch pad. Let's skimp on the launch pad. So I need the vehicle assembly bay. If I'm going to be launching from place, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to plan on actually getting Ganymede. Although I probably should bring 2 vehicle launch bays worth of stuff, right? Because I should probably get it so that is it Callisto or Io? That's probably me. Well, Io's definitely got more metal because it's got 3 deposits. 2 underground deposits versus Io's solid deposits, flying there almost on the surface. What's the habitability here? Environmental toxicity, habitability is decreased by 7%. Current habitability is negative, or supply consumption is 200%. Okay, and whereas Callisto is 17%. So Callisto is probably the place we want to go for first. It also has water, so we just have to make sure we get carbon. Okay. In which case I can get the carbon from Ganymede, which is why we want launch capacity, so we can get off of Ganymede. Fair enough. Either food or carbon off of Ganymede. So let's plan a launch. This is not going to be from Jupiter. This is going to be from Earth to Earth orbit. Using the orbital payload container. The goal is to get resources I need for setting up that launch capacity, as well as just more orbital gas extractors. So for the launch, I'm going to need a vehicle assembly bay. So add resources, alloys, 200. Add resources, rares, 50. That's the vehicle assembly bay. The Pelican's going to be a little more complicated. In fact, the Pelican's going to require me to get some radioactives. I need 32 for the Pelican. Yeah, we're only going to do the one Pelican on that site. At some point I'll need to put a Pelican probably on the other one because we want to get the metal off of Callisto, but 32 rares for the moment. I'm going to need those, or 32 fizzles, so I'm going to need those fizzles. I'm going to need another 40 rares for the ship. I'm going to need 320 metal for the ship. So that's what I want on Ganymede in preparation for Callisto. Yeah, that's what I want on Ganymede in preparation for Callisto. The rest of the tonnage for this trip can be orbital gas extractors. And well, for this launch, in theory I can do 300 more tons in my launch. I'd have to do 2 trips with the Pelican. And I can do 2 trips in that launch period, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that reminds me. I'm back with you. Should put that in chat. I can do multiple trips in that launch period. So let's assume. Well, I've got just under 600 tons here. Can I do 3? Let's assume I can do 3. So the next resource is then going to be alloys. 350. 350, please, not 200. Delete back, 350. Let's see if I typed it in right. Okay. Orbital gas extractors want polymers. We bought lots of those earlier, so we've got plenty. 60 more polymers. And electronics, 30. Yeah, so I won't have enough lift capacity to get another one up. If I'm not going to wait for the next lift, that is the mixer. We're just going to take a partial load here, get that to orbit on the next Pelican launch. More humans are now available. Okay. Those supplies have launched. Before the launch window, I believe I can get another launch of the Pelican. Let me just do a quick check. Optimal is January right now. I can get another launch before January. So I should be planning more orbital gas extractor stuff from Earth to Earth orbit. Worst case scenario, it won't be loaded on that mission, which is fine. Because we have other places we want to go. Should be able to at least get 5 on the launch. I've got the fuel. 750. And then polymers, 100. Electronics, 50. Yep, we'll do a partial launch on the Pelican. Am I going to get pushed back on needing to pay? Would have to pay. Okay, so let's back up. Let's reduce this by 1 launch load. That should probably be within free. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm going to have to slow down launch cadence afterwards because I'm going to have to wait for the hydrogen to pile back up. But research lab on Titan. Let's go. My lunch was already happened. Okay, so we're now ready for you to begin. Do this right. You to Jupiter orbit. Oops, no, I like the previous orbit. Earth orbit. That's just that's here. Okay. Then I want to add resources as we need them. So. Vehicle launch assembly is alloys. 200. Oop, not too fat for one, not the full load. 200 alloys. Then we need rares. Which want to be 50. Then I want stuff for the Pelican, which is 320. Well, I am realizing the vehicle launch assembly here is going to be a little slow because I don't have enough power to run, or I don't have enough people to run it and the research lab. So we'll have to basically run one or the other at a given time. That's probably fine for the short term because we're going to basically have it build one thing and then turn it back off again. Okay, so that's the stuff for Ganymede. For Jupiter itself, we want alloys. in multiples of 150. So let's do 450 for the first. Polymers, 60, electronics, 30. So that would be launchable. Do I have enough up? Yeah, should be able to go up another step. So we do like 600, 80, 40. Yeah, I don't have enough space for another orbital gas extractor worth of stuff, so we'll launch with this load. We're in orbit, so we don't need a launch vehicle. We can go on the optimal with minimum fuel, because we're going to a place with fuel. Then I'm going to have a follow-up mission, Jupiter orbit, to Jupiter system, which is Ganymede orbit. Ganymede orbit. Yes, Ganymede orbit. With the Hephaestus that's on the way out. We'll go to the next experiment. So we want this to stay there, we want this to stay there, we want this to stay there. These all want to go to the next location. We're getting a slight delta V savings for going to Jupiter before going to Ganymede. And I do want to bring along, I want to pick up enough fuel that we can probably make the return trip. Let's say we want a leftover propellant of about 31. We're technically picking up this propellant at Jupiter and using it to get back to Jupiter. That should be more than enough. This would, in theory, be enough for everything we're carrying, even after we do the hit the orbit, which is more than we need. There we go. Okay. And for the moment, I think that's all I want to do, because we've got fuel issues on Earth. I don't want to expand fuel production on Earth anymore. So we gotta wait for the hydrogen to catch back up. If anything, I want to be spinning Earth production down. We got enough carbon on the moon? Yeah. And then Earth orbit has enough food to feed the guys up there for long enough? Yeah. Mars. Do we have power to do stuff with? I do. I've got about 9 power. We do have more people to do work. Although, actually, no, we're starting to run low on people to do work. I might need to start thinking about sending more people to Mars. Would probably even make sense to get the crew compartments at Mars into orbit, and have Hephaestus just swing by, pick them up, go to Earth orbit, grab the people who have Earth orbit, bring them to Mars. That would make some sense. You know, I think we want to expand people capacity here. So let's, next thing I want to build me 2 habitats. So we can have more people. So that's going to eat 2 power. It doesn't actually consume any people. So I got 40 people left. That's enough to work 8 mines. I think that still wants to be water mines, because I still want to drink this water. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, and I haven't even finished up the solar panels. I've got 3 solar panels. How many people do they take? Solar panels. 6. Okay, so belay 2 of those water mines, because otherwise I'm going to run out of belay 2 of those water mines, because otherwise I don't have the power, or don't have the people to work them yet. What are you struggling with? Did I queue too many jobs up here? Looks like I queued up too many jobs. 110 people. Yeah, looks like I queued too many jobs up. Okay. Well, don't build that one, because that's just going to make the problem worse. And I actually need to undo 2 of these points. Another one of those mines. Queued one. Okay, queued too many mines. Okay. There we go. So we got enough people to work all those jobs. That's fine. That's what I want. And at some point I want to get that metal to orbit to get over to Demos, so we can do more work on Demos. Although, oh, that's what I screwed up. I built enough people for the hab space, not for the people. So I built 7 when I only had enough for 3. Okay. So want to get enough metal to Demos for 3 mines. Which is only 375 metal, so it's not a lot of metal. Phobos Demos, the Prometheus, and resources. Metal. 375. Okay. I might actually have the Prometheus do the transit. Not quite as fuel efficient as the newer Vesti, but it's a Earth to Mars transfer, which isn't too bad. Especially if we wait for the optimal transit window. Okay, schedule missions. Phobos arrives at Demos. Okay, so Demos, we're going to go ahead and, again, I think we're going to mine that silicon, the one I want to speed up of the 2 here. And then let's see, get you back to Mars. Okay. So yeah, I will go ahead and use the Prometheus instead of Vesti just to save up some time on the Hephaestus. So Mars to Earth orbit with the Prometheus. Add the modules, which are the crew modules. Oops, I need to make sure that they are carrying crew, because we're trying to bring people to Mars, not take people from Mars. Not today. Okay, 110 tons of crew module, so that's enough to transit 110 crew, which we'd like on Mars. So I can look at them to orbit. Okay. Optimal transit window. Don't take my Martian fuel to Earth, please. Although I could take the Martian fuel to Earth, that wouldn't be too terrible. If anything, I probably want to start spooling down hydrogen production on Mars. Although we're going to be extracting the water, so that's fine. Yep, so we do that minimum burn. The launch window's a bit late. Could I do a faster transit if I spend, like, 100? Yeah. I'm going to spend 100 a little bit faster. Let's do that. And yeah, with that fuel, we get the Martian one going right away. Mars to Earth, Earth to the asteroid, Titan to Earth, Lutetia to Earth, and outbound, okay. And then we're waiting for that hydrogen to pack up so I can do another asteroid transit. Well, also waiting for the Hephaestus to come in to do launches. Let's accelerate until we get Hephaestus in. Oh, that reminds me, I can sell the fuel. That's why we're bringing the fuel in. It's not like it's earning us a lot. But it's earning me nothing just sitting on the moon. And launching stuff on the moon is cheap enough. Silicon mine completed on Demos. Our fuel transfer to Earth is done, so we can sell that fuel off. And we can do it again. Get the last of the fuel back to Earth. And actually, the fuel coming in is waiting on the Pelican to launch again, so that's actually a fairly decent amount of time. Got a soon arrival here. Prometheus has done the transfer. Festus is a transfer. Okay. So when is the next launch window? So the question is, where am I launching to? Am I out to Callisto? Or am I out to a research lab location? I probably don't have enough fuel hydrogen piled up yet to do a proper launch, do I? I suppose I can check when the next launch window is either way. So we're going to Callisto. Say Earth orbit to Callisto for the moment. The launch window is basically now. We're in the launch window as best as it's going. We were doing the default. It was been like basically now. If we go for optimal, we're waiting until next February. So I don't want to tie the Pelican up until next February. Although I maybe don't have the hydrogen to launch anytime before then. Just if I'm bringing stuff, right? Okay, so we roll back. Instead of going to Callisto, let's think, when is the launch window to... the Trojans? We got one out going out to Nies. What about Patrolicus? Again, on the Hephaestus. Let's check the launch window. Optimal is January. Still probably later than I want. What about the popping back up again? Achilles, let's say. April, so 24 days. The question is, do I have enough fuel for 24 days? If I have enough fuel, we do that one, otherwise we're looking January, okay. Okay, so that's the load. And then I need to do things like alloys for the research lab. So 100 alloys for the research lab, and rares research lab, and electronics for the research lab, and glass for the research lab, 90 metals for the hab to buy more metals. $110 supplies, ideally. I didn't miss anything in my list, checklist. I think I haven't. I 176 tons, so if I can make sure I have 176 tons left over. It's not going to take that much for the turn trip. But yeah, I think from a fuel standpoint, because I gotta get stuff off of Earth, we're gonna miss this window. In which case, we're looking at the generator window, so we're looking either the Trojans or going to Jupiter itself. Okay. And this would work for Jupiter itself, so we're gonna wait until we get the fuel loaded, until we get the fuel made. Advance time until we have about 1.5 kilotons. Okay, so there's our 1.5 kilotons. Oh, so there's another place we could be thinking about a launch to... Well, this would be a load launch, right? This would be bringing the stuff to Saturn. Getting Saturn's fueling going. So again, we'd still be going up in the Hephaestus. This would be a different module. We'd want to take the orbital constructor along, and it's mostly resources. So like 750 alloy. 100 polymer. 50 electronics. And I could do more than that. I need a little bit more than that on the launch. So go up to 900, 120, and 60. Yeah, that would work on a launch. Ride the Pelican up. Optimal launch window is early enough that it's not going to be a problem for launching to Jupiter, assuming I get another Hephaestus in. Yeah, we will do this launch. The different question is, am I going to have enough fuel? I can min fuel this because we're going to have. Oh well, I can't min fuel this because I don't even have the min fuel. Okay, so we're in the perfect launch window. We don't have the hydrogen. Fair enough. Okay, so back out because we worked out we're not going to have enough hydrogen anything except for research lab status. So if we're going research lab status, we might as well go to Callisto, get that mission cleared. And yeah, might as well go straight to Callisto. Again, Hephaestus. Add module. Yes, that's the correct module. Crew compartments. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add module. Mining module. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mobile hab. And module. Radioisotope generator. And module probe. And resource time. 100 alloy. Rares. 10. Electronics. 10. Glass. 10. Metal. 90. Supplies, 110. Riding up on the Pelican. On the optimal launch window, which is February. This is in the Jupiter system, so I can go minimum fuel, because we'll just have the Prometheus bring the missing fuel to get us to go elsewhere from Jupiter itself. Okay. Okay, next mission I should really send the one out to Saturn for its fueling reasons, so. And we worked out that probably needs the full 3K for the fuel requirements, okay. Okay, we got ongoing missions. We got 4 ongoing, 2 waiting for the launch windows. Completed machine learning, so another research tech done. On to the next one. These will make all the future researches just that little bit faster. I did work out math-wise in a spreadsheet earlier that it is cost-effective to pick them up. It's not necessarily going to help you within your timings, though. If you're going like for all the techs, eventually it's worth picking them up. They're maybe not great for the short term. Okay, so we have our second Hephaestus. I think we do want to go to Saturn next, so I need to wait until the hydrogen piles up here. Unless I'm going to use hydrogen in orbit. Reminds me, I can bring more hydrogen from the moon. Bring more hydrogen from the moon. That way I have enough for when we do the swing by with the Prometheus from Mars, which is still going. That's not here yet. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until we have more hydrogen on Earth. Phobos demos are sorted. Jupiter is still making hydrogen. Piling up a pretty decent stockpile of hydrogen. I may want to have the Jupiter, or have the first one of these guys come back with a load of hydrogen. We can. Okay, so that was our Earth-Moon shuffle. There's the Mars arrival. So I'm going to prioritize sending that Prometheus back to Mars with the people. Again, I think I have enough in orbit to do that, so that's not a concern. So these crew compartments want to go to Mars. Riding a Prometheus. And then I'll take a little bit of food in the cargo hold just to make sure we have food for the trip. Because yeah, that gives us the 100 food gives us 4 years of food, so we're not worried, even if I take a fairly inefficient transit. Anyway, we can take an efficient version of the transit coming back. That'll work. Well, efficient from a fuel standpoint, maybe inefficient from a time spent waiting for the launch. Earth, we're waiting for the fuel to pile up. I need about 3,000 tons. And at the moment, we just have the one ongoing mission. We've got Earth orbit out to Jupiter, and then Jupiter to Callisto. Oh no, I got two. The Earth to Callisto is already launched. I'm thinking well, the first one I was mentioning was actually Ganymede, so it's Earth to Jupiter, then Jupiter to Ganymede. Whereas we've got the Earth to Callisto is already going as well. Okay. Yeah, that hydrogen's piling up pretty well. Gotta remind myself these are tons. We're only in the low multiple tons for Jupiter. Although our stuff has just dropped off, so 4 more gas extractors in the queue. And did our stuff arrive at Callisto? No, it's coming. Oh no, I'm looking at Callisto. Never mind. Ganymede. Did it arrive at Ganymede? Stuff is in orbit. Stuff is in orbit. Drop everything except for the hydrogen. And then the Hephaestus. Please take the transit. Grab you. Stupid. Stupid orbit, because yeah, crashing into the gas giant is not a good result for anyone involved. Then fuel for the transit, because we're going there to pick up fuel. So I could fly back to Earth with what hydrogen is currently in tow. And that wouldn't necessarily be the first choice. You know, let's do that. Hephaestus, Earth. I'm not even going to leave this in Earth orbit. We're dumping this into Earth. I want to get more stuff off of Earth. Well, technically this is going to be in the fuel tanks for the ship anyway, so it's going to end up in orbit. Optimal transit. The reason we're doing optimal transit because I want to save as much fuel for the end as possible. There we go. So that means we'll arrive with 550 tons of fuel, which we can use to get stuff either off of Earth or to launch stuff from Earth orbit. Still waiting for fuel piling up there. 2 scheduled missions. One of which we just scheduled, right? So that one is away. We're waiting on that one, waiting for its ideal launch window. I could get a bunch of stuff off of Mars. Although right now I kind of want to use it on Mars, which just means I need more people. I need more people on Mars. Yeah, the thing I probably want to take the most off of Mars is the hydrogen so that I can be using it at Earth. Although that can wait until we actually we get a ship to take it back. Okay. Okay, that's probably enough for the transfer to Saturn. Fuel-wise. Earth to Saturn. Using the Hephaestus in orbit. Add the module I just selected, please. Add resources, which, yes, we do want to bring resources along. I want to bring along stuff for orbital gas extractors. Alloys, I think we worked out like 90. Polymers, 120. And electronics, 60. Oops. Gotta actually commit the 900 alloy. Those are underloading a little bit. On the Pelican. Optimal launch window. And obviously I need to be below the fuel we got on the planet. And this can be minimum fuel, because we're going there to make fuel. So we can wait until the fuel is made for the return trip. Although, if I bring along enough fuel that we can transit, then we can transit, and then I don't have to wait. Yeah, we'll go minimum fuel. Orbital gas extractors being expanded at Jupiter. Three missions ongoing, one waiting for the correct transfer window. Basic AI is complete, so faster research going forward. Orbital extractor done at Jupiter. Is that all of them, or do I have one more to go? I have one more to go. So, up to 0.78 tons of nitrogen being produced. And our launch to Mars is a go. It's waiting for more hydrogen to pile up. Jupiter gas extractors are done. Oh, and I suppose... Are all my Vesti accounted for doing stuff? Jupiter has 2 missions outbound. Saturn has a mission outbound. Where is my third? Where's my fourth? I thought I built 4. 3 are accounted for doing stuff. Is one still at Latusia? No. I handled that one, okay. Oh, I'm remembering we had, I sent someone to someplace. We probably have starving crew if I'm thinking about it at this point. Aeneas? Aeneas. Okay. We would be having starving crew, but I sent enough food along for like 10 years. It's fine. Okay. Standard opening. Outpost into... hydroponic farm, into research lab, send the Vestas back to Earth. Optimal transfer window, minimum fuel. Good thing I checked up on where my 4th Hephaestus was. There we go. We've got our Callisto landing. Callisto landing, this is a day to remember for the entire humankind. We reached further than anybody ever before. I'd argue that because we did Saturn before Callisto, we already did that, but sure. 5.5 million more. Revenue for us. 30 people landed in Callisto, and now, from a contract standpoint, the game is really going like, yeah, you know, you really need to do something about Mars. Mars needs to be terraformed. My stuff is here. I should have been building this. Vehicle launch assembly. Go. And then on Callisto, obviously we aren't going to have the farm working until I can get any carbon arriving. On the other hand, I got enough food for 10 years. We're not in a rush. Although we'll use a little on the outpost. So the outpost will eat a little bit of food. That'll drop at like 9 years. We'll do research laboratory into the farm, even though the farm's not going to work until the carbon's arrived. Back over to Ganymede. I actually need to pay attention to this so I don't miss it. missions ongoing. Earth is waiting for hydrogen. It's actually getting pretty close, although it's also waiting for Vesti for transit. Sadly, I can't queue the launch vehicle up until we have the vehicle assembly bay up. And this is the thing that takes one of the things that takes a long time. Oh, Mars orbit. Oh no, I had them dump straight on Mars, right? We had them dump straight on Mars. I could actually plan for the MTs to return back to Earth. I think I will do. Okay. So you... Mars to... Oh, actually, not Mars to Earth, but Mars to Earth orbit, because we want to pick it from the orbital. On the Prometheus, add the... not the probe. Crew module. Empty crew module. All the empty crew modules. And then add resources... hydrogen. Optimal transit, because we're flying empty. I suppose actually, if I want to be dumping more hydrogen at Earth orbit, I can just take the full tank too. Yeah. Okay. It's a pretty close flyby on a comet. Okay, vehicle assembly bay is done. I could temporarily power down something else to get the launch vehicle to build faster, I assume. Did I screw up and not bring enough rares? I screwed up and did not bring enough rares. Okay, I got a plan. We'll go to the rare mine and go pick some up. I'm in the effort of making this go fast. Going to tell you, you can just have fuel. There you go. There's also some at Lutetia, so when you get to where you're going, pick up new fuel. Now you get there in 4 months. I'm like, I need this launch capacity on Ganymede so I can feed Callisto. So I need those rares. Missed something on the checklist. Yeah, I read the 50 rares on the launch assembly and must have missed the ones on the Pelican, because we're short the Pelican one. Yeah, that must be what I missed. It would either been there or at Jupiter that I actually loaded it. Oops. Off you're going, using your powerful engines to make that transit. Spacecraft to Jupiter arrived at Earth. Okay. So I gotta have Vestas. Another load of alloys out to the mine. Out to the gas mine. Is that what I want to do next? Or do I want more research rate? We're definitely getting healthier and healthier mounts there. Earth orbit is also starting a decent amount. I got a decent amount of people up there. Yeah, let's buy some alloys and I'll do another run out to getting more gas extractors. 3 million alloys. We're pretty good on the polymers and the electronics for that. Okay. Do we want to do 2 launches to Earth orbit, or do I just want to do... Actually, we've still got the stuff in Earth orbit, so if I do a launch to Earth orbit... Oh no, we've got short on the electronics in Earth orbit. Got polymer... Yeah, we'll do 2 launches. Okay. So, launch the Pelican. Because what I want is like 15... Oh, 150 tons of stuff. 150 tons divided by 180 is 8 extractors at once. So let's do Earth to Earth orbit, orbital payload container, add resources. So 8 times 150. 8 times 150. So 120. So I basically want to fill this whole thing up with alloys for the first launch here. Okay, alloys are in orbit. The next launch, which is also going to be to orbit, so we can pick it up with the ship, is, we worked out the number is 8. So 80 electronics and 160 polymers. And also probably want to get more people to orbit, so we can just start loading crew compartments. Is that all the... Yeah, that was all the crew compartments, right? So it was just the 20 crew compartments. Oh, I might not have the fuel for that. A little short on fuel. Okay, so we gotta leave some of the crew compartments behind. I'm gonna be more aggressive leaving the crew compartments behind than that. Fine, we'll leave the crew compartments behind. There we go. There's that Lutetia mission to go get rare for the launch facility. Festus has got its stuff in orbit. We are not to, well, the brings up the menu. Jupiter orbit and Earth orbit to Jupiter orbit. The Hephaestus. Add resources. 120 or 1,200 alloy. Polymers, 1 in 60. Electronics, 80. Optimal transit. You're not tying up the Pelican, so you can take as long as you need to launch. Minimum fuel out, because we pick up fuel where we're going. There we go. So we got the Hephaestus running. Before I forget, I want to make sure that we get the rare metals delivered to get the Pelican going, so we can get the Pelican launched. Arrived at Lutetia. Okay. So, how many do I need again at Callisto? I needed... Or not Callisto. Callisto is where we want to get the carbon to, which we're picking up at Ganymede. Ganymede needs a launch capacity then. Planet mission. Launch vehicle. Which is a Pelican, which we're short 60 rares. Okay. So, from Lutetia, I need this to go to Ganymede. Lutetia to Ganymede. Via the Prometheus. I only need 40 rares. Launch vehicle, none, because I don't need a launch from Lutetia. Optimal transit is spending over a year to launch. Okay, let's not do an optimal transit. I'm willing to spend our acquired hydrogen here to go fast. Okay. Much better. And then we'll do the minimum for the fastest there, because that's basically telling me, hey, you can't really go much faster with spending more fuel, so bring less fuel. There you go. Minimum fuel for that quick transit. So we got Mars to Earth going, we got Earth orbit to Jupiter going, Mars to Earth just arrived, okay, so we got these 4 going. Ganymede return, no, that's actually Ganymede going out, okay. From Lutetia, okay. So you can see it dipping deep into the solar system to get back out where it's going. Okay, so we've got our Hephaestus back from the asteroid, which reminds me that asteroid should be favorited. So I can come into here and find it. Reminding myself I have things there. And yeah, we're waiting for hydrogen there, so just let time pass. I guess this is one of the reasons I need so much hydrogen mining. Is the thing we are waiting for is the fuel to get things off of Earth. A little bit on the tech. The tech is slowing down us getting things from other places, I suppose. Mars to Earth has arrived. Okay, so that is at Earth orbit. These are ready for the return trip to Mars. On the Prometheus they arrived on. Once again, we'll grab 100 supplies for the trip, just to make sure the guys don't starve in transit. Optimal launch window. Don't take any of the fuel back to Mars. Mars makes more fuel than Earth does. And yeah, I'll have the housing for those guys when they arrive, so they can just arrive. There's no concerns there. In the meantime, I have a crew to do work. So let's crank out some solar panels, and then we'll get the mining water. We're still looking at a 800-year window for that water, which is too slow. It must go faster. Earth to Saturn, Earth to Jupiter, Lutetia to Ganymede. That's my current plan. Okay, there's our Lutetia to Ganymede, so I can fix my problem before I bring this part to a close. Which is, I need a Pelican for launch. $140 days. And then you can get the carbon off of here, so we can send it over to Callisto. So Callisto can make its own food. Long before Callisto actually runs out of food, is the plan. And Callisto is making its own metal. So we're definitely at the point where I might want to start bringing colonists to Callisto. The good deposit's going to run out pretty quickly. The bad deposit's 2 megatons, so we definitely have plenty of mining potential here. Actually, the concern then would be power. Where are we going to get all the power from? That's a question. I got Hephaestus in orbit here. It doesn't need to be in orbit here anymore. Okay, so let's get you to Jupiter. Orbit. No, I need to tell it Callisto orbit, so it doesn't try to take things. Ah, the other problem. I forgot to bring any fuel over. We can sort this pretty quick. So Jupiter. We have a Prometheus in Jupiter. Go to Callisto. Prometheus. In Jupiter. Go to Callisto. Bring 100 tons of fuel. You don't need a launch vehicle. You only need 14 tons. We'll give you like 50. And then you'll be carrying enough fuel for you to get yourself back. Yeah. And you want to go back. Jupiter orbit. At the moment, nothing. Literally nothing. And then same thing with Hephaestus. The Hephaestus wants to go back. With, like, literally nothing. Well, that's a good question on Ganymede. I don't have any hydrogen on Ganymede, so I should bring some hydrogen in. Oh, we can get you going to Jupiter. And then one of those, mission planning, Jupiter orbit, wants to go back to Ganymede. Actually, back proper to Ganymede, because the plan is to have it drop hydrogen on Ganymede. Not sure how much I need. Just take 800 tons. That'll be enough for the Pelican to do while it's launching. And yeah, there's maybe an argument to bring along some... Well, no, we already got hydrogen in orbit there, so bring along the minimum hydrogen. Okay, so when I get a decent tonnage of hydrogen set up, we'll probably send the Hephaestus. Or I might send the Hephaestus anyway, because it looks like we've got a... Oh no, we'll wait a couple of years. Or wait a year. Pile up some hydrogen here, so the Hephaestus can take a big chunk down to Earth. Ganymede now has hydrogen, so when the Pelican is ready, in 100 so days, I'm actually going to tell the research lab... for the moment to be lower priority. There we go. Short the research lab the personnel. Please make the vehicle assembly run faster. Running this episode a little bit long because I want to get this carbon to Callisto, so I don't have to worry about it farming. I don't have to worry about the farming over there. There's advanced AI, making us even faster with the tech. Only one more tech to go, and then we'll start moving on to sort of more productive stuff. Although I say more productive, you're not very productive. Reducing the maintenance cost of facilities is nice. Terraforming's a e-project that doesn't provide anything. And then there we go. There we can start terraforming Mars. At least in the method and the manner the quest suggests. Pelican launched at Ganymede. Okay, so carbon to Callisto. Ganymede to Callisto. Prometheus is going to be the one carrying it, so we can only take 800 tons, which is probably more than enough. The Pelican is going to do the launch. We know there's already hydrogen in Callisto orbit, so you can go with the minimum fuel. And arrival. Farm is operational. That is enough to provide its carbon needs for 108 days. I think we're good to go. Okay, with that, I think that is a good place for a part break. We've got colonies in Jupiter system. We have a colony on Titan, which is running fast enough given the fact they only need to feed themselves. We got one more research speed tech to go. We're going to work towards terraforming, and then we're going to sort of work towards qualitative techs, I think. So maybe running up to large crew compartments. These will be reasonably expensive, but with the better hydrogen-fueled stuff, we can definitely do a little bit more. Bringing the items back, I think, will help. We'll run up to that probably after that. think we'll actually go ahead and grab the Arrain and the Chronos. I might actually be more interested in the Chronos than the Arrain, to be fair. But grab those, run to radioactive isotope mining so I can mine the radioactive isotopes in other locations. Lots of useful stuff in here that we might be taking a run to soon. I say soon, we're still looking hundreds and hundreds of days out. We're looking multiple years in the future. So that's why I'm not putting it in the queue, because I might change my mind in the future. If you're watching on YouTube, we be moving things farther and faster and quicker. The biggest limitation is actually getting the hydrogen back to Earth so we can get stuff off of Earth. And or mining more stuff in space. So one of the things we need to get, we still have to get humans, electronics, humans and electronics we need to get off of Earth. I don't need to get glass. I can technically make alloys elsewhere. One of our bigger places we're making alloys is Mars. I've disassembled the alloy maker on the moon. We could reinstall that if we decided to start shipping metal to the moon, but then we'd have to find someplace to get metal from. You know the drill. So until next time, if you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We will be recording one more part tonight. And until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.